Hey, I'm Tanner, aka Relax Window, and today I'm going to talk about the top 10 things we learned in the Halloween developer Q&A that was live streamed earlier. I watched the whole thing so you don't have to, and I'm going to tell you the 10 most important takeaways they revealed, and then I also wrote down the whole Q&A section, so we'll go through that in the second half. And before we get started, if you're new around here, I'm a huge horror fan. I love Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Scream, any franchise, you name it. And I talk about that a ton on this channel. So if you're into horror and gaming and entertainment, make sure to subscribe and watch some of my other videos. This live stream was led by Jordan Mathewson, who's the lead designer of Halloween the Game, and it was led by Miles Dampier, the social media manager also for Halloween the Game. First important topic of the live stream was campaign mode. This is Halloween the Game's single player experience, and what they really focused on was that there's multiple ways to complete the objectives in this mode. Playing as Michael, you have to get your target, and you can do that one way or the other. And what they really emphasized is that if people really lean into how Michael would approach a situation like in the movies, it seems like you'll get more points for that, and you can potentially earn some skins in game if you complete the objectives the right way. I personally really like this because it forces you to kind of step into Michael's shoes in the movie and think about playing him in different ways, but it still sounds like you can complete it however you want, you just might get less points. And it's cool because you get to earn some cool skins for multiplayer, so I really think this is going to be additive to the overall Halloween game. The second topic was characters and customizations for the characters, which I've been waiting to hear about a lot of this, so I found this part really interesting. We know for the standard release, there's 10 playable characters, and then for the deluxe pre-order, there's 12 playable characters because you add a couple extra, and those two are Richard Hawthorne and Alexis Purcell, and they showed some really cool visuals of the civilians with different hairstyles and outfits. And it was officially confirmed that you'll be able to customize the hair, makeup, and clothing across any of the civilian characters. They even mentioned customizing eyewear and blemishes, which I thought was really cool that they're getting that detailed with it. So I think we'll be able to have some fun with this one compared to like Friday the 13th, where not all that stuff was. And of course, we all know what happened with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre hair pack that never arrived, unfortunately. So I thought this was really exciting to hear and sounds promising for the in-game features. The third topic discussed was crossplay. Crossplay is confirmed, but not cross progression, so that was the only update there. The fourth topic discussed was the queuing and going into a game with a specific party of friends. They said they're going to share more closer to the launch, but it's something they're paying attention to right now, and they specifically mentioned that they don't want to break up friend groups going in together. So I think they're going to try and be really cognizant of that. Again, with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, we did see people getting split up and like being switched across the teams. Hopefully because it's a 1v4 situation this time, that won't happen as much. But like I said, they didn't share much more, and they're going to look to share more information closer to launch. Number 5 is meta unlocks, and I actually found this section surprising. I didn't expect them to talk about it as much. And something really special they revealed here was profile icons and profile backgrounds that you can earn in-game. Think of it as like the OG Call of Duty games when you had that like player call tag. The same kind of thing is going to be available in Halloween the Game, which I like because it kind of shows some like prestige you might have, and it's just another cool customizable for like your player tag. So I really like these elements. I think they make the game that much more special, and just the theming of all of it is really cool too. In addition to the profile icons and the profile backgrounds, they did talk about the level system a little bit. It sounds similar to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, meaning when you play with a specific character, you're going to get to level them up specifically. So since those levels are gained by playing with a specific character, that means for Michael, you're actually going to be able to unlock new starter weapons as you level up. And they did mention progressive challenges to unlock new skins for Michael and all the civilians. The sixth topic was the perk system, which I'm so hyped they talked about, honestly. Basically, you'll work to earn in-game currency, and then you'll be able to spend that on different perks. So think about the perk rolling system, kind of like Friday the 13th the game. It was not as designed as Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In the live stream, they talked about wanting the perk system to be casual enough for people to enjoy, and really not have people be dependent on specific builds for their complete success in the game. Again, when you think about Friday the 13th the game, you had in-game currency and you just rolled for a bunch of different perks. You could pair 3 of them together and that was your build. In Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game, it was a little more designed where you'd have to do a specific skill tree, you'd have to purchase certain perks and let others go, and it was just very gamey and like competitive in that way. So it sounds like for Halloween the game, they're getting back to the Friday the 13th model. They don't want it to be so sweaty with the perk system, but they still do want to offer a customization and like different array of builds. So once you roll for the perks that you want, you can put them into a deck and then that deck is what you apply to your character. So if I'm thinking about this correctly, maybe I could have like a stealth deck with a few stealth perks, and I could apply it to any character I want. To me, I love like this perk system of rolling for random perks and kind of like purchasing them. I hope there is a randomization feature, and it sounds like a good balance between keeping it easy enough for people to understand, but also getting custom if you want it to be. And this brings us to our 7th topic, which was game balancing. And there was a lot of discussion around this between Michael and the civilians, so I'm gonna sum it up for you guys. They're working hard to balance this game. And a big thing they addressed is people being able to gang up on Michael. We all know that was a major problem in Friday the 13th, the game with Jason, and they did say it was unavoidable, but they're making as many countermeasures as possible in order to avoid that. For example, when you can detain Michael, there's going to be a lot of factors that play into being able to do that, and they even mentioned you have to rely on a good RNG in order to have the right variables and items in the game to even get to the point of being able to detain him, and having other characters present like a seniority person like Dr. Loomis or even like a cop. So it sounds like defeating Michael is not really going to be like a big option for players. They want to keep him pretty powered up. And on the flip side, they mentioned a couple of cool features that would allow players to shake Michael, or at least force him to make a decision one way or another that would allow them a split second to get away. For example, when Michael's using detection pulse, there's going to be a way that you can evade it or at least get it off of you for a second so you have a chance to survive and get out of his sight. The 8th most important topic was definitely Michael's blackout ability, which they just kept re-emphasizing that this is really a tool to allow Michael to infiltrate spaces that he would not otherwise be able to. So this ability puts out the cars, it puts out the lights, literally all of that, and then Michael can move into those dark spaces, because remember, light is a protector in this game for the civilians. So it really gets you an extra chance to get into shape jump, and then you can kind of slip back and forth to catch people off guard. The 9th topic was only touched on a little bit, but I think it's really important. It was about Michael's playstyle. They revealed that there would be more customizations to Michael's playstyle available closer to launch, and that players could choose how they want to play Michael, and that was all that was shared. I'm wondering if this is customizations like speed, strength, or having more of one ability versus another. Do you want to have a stealth build Michael, or maybe you're going for pure strength and brute force? I'm wondering if it would be like customizations in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where you could up the strength of characters or maybe the stealth or stamina of others. So I'm really excited about this. I feel like it's like another layer that has not been revealed yet, and it's really going to change how people play. And this brings us to number 10, and then we're going to talk about the Q&A quick. Number 10 is mysterious items in the world. In multiplayer mode, there are going to be mysterious items that spawn randomly throughout the game. We don't know exactly what these items are or what they do yet, and they revealed nothing about it on stream. And all they said is they want people to figure out how to use them, and they're not going to talk about them again really until after the game launches. So it's kind of on us to figure out how these things work. But they said it could give civilians a bigger chance to fight back than like a regular household item. So I'm really excited to see what these do. I wonder if there's any Easter eggs involved with them. It was just a cool thing that I hadn't heard of to this point, and maybe one of the biggest smallest things they mentioned during the stream. And they did show a picture of these items, but didn't say much more. Now we're going to rapid fire through the Q&A section. So here we go. Is there going to be a Halloween Discord server? Yes, it's launching on July 22nd, so stay tuned for it. Is there going to be a content roadmap at launch? No, there's not a content roadmap, but they are planning more content for the future of the game, and that'll be discussed closer to launch. Will there be a beta for the game? No, there's not going to be a beta. Someone asked, how important is maintaining continuity in terms of the styles and aesthetics and like the tone of the game? And the developer answered that of course it's important. They have to balance it with like the timely accuracy of the 1970s, and they want to make cool stuff and the cosmetics that people want to wear. So at the end of the day, they're going to remain true to the time and the source material, but they're going to have some creative fun with it. Someone else asked if Michael's blurred face in the cosmetics is going to be revealed in story mode or on game day, and they confirmed it will not be revealed. The face will remain blurred because you're never going to see it, and it's meant to kind of embody that mysteriousness about Michael Myers. The next question is, what playstyle is the game made for? Is it going to be casual or competitive? And back to our balancing conversation of earlier, they basically said it lands in the middle. They do want this game to be fun with jump scares and unpredictable nature, but they did note that if someone wants to get sweaty with it or competitive, that they can go there if they want to. It's just not the whole thing's going to be built to be like a sweaty gaming experience. And that's also why the perk system is kind of like casualized, It's enough that someone can customize it if they want to, but people who aren't used to that kind of thing can still roll with it, have some success and fun. Another question is, how do you plan to combat the threat of bully squads in the game? You know, the people that are going to gang up on Michael Myers. And we kind of talked about this earlier, but again, there's a lot of countermeasures in place, especially with how you can detain Michael, that it will not be that common of an experience. And they're basically just trying to balance it out so that, of course, Michael is powered, but then you have civilians who can still fight back. So really, countermeasures is kind of the answer here. Is proximity chat included? Yes, proximity chat is included in the game. They know it's one of the community's favorite features. And the last question was insane. Someone asked if Michael Myers will be able to drive cars. And the honest answer is yes, he's going to be able to drive cars in the game, which I think is so funny. I was already a menace in Friday the 13th, the game, driving around, running over counselors, and I was playing as a counselor, so you know I'm going to be driving that car as Michael Myers. That's all the updates I have for you today. Comment below and let me know what you think of all this information about the game. I think there's such cool stuff revealed today, and let me know what you still have questions on. I'm really curious to see what we can figure out leading up to the game's release. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video.